Welcome to Determined Women of Destiny, powered by Rude Rangers Entertainment. I am your host, Yvonne, the Motivator Man. This is the show that gives you the business, the good, the bad, and the beautiful of female entrepreneurship, providing business empowerment through inspirational motivation. As all of you know, this is Black History Month, and I just want to take a moment and just salute some of our female Black writers that have made it very easy for me to do what I do now, but I'm quite sure it was hard for them back then. Phyllis Wheatley, who was one of the first Black writers that was given any type of acknowledgement, and also Frances Ellen Walker. Then, of course, we have the beloved, wonderfully loved Zora Neale Hurston, Alice Walker, Toni Morrison, Maya Angelou, Lorraine Hansberry, Terry McMillan, and Nikki Giovanni. This leads me to introduce my guest, who is also a wonderful Black female writer. Her name is Rancine Harris. Welcome to the show, Rancine.
Hello, thank you for having me. Truly an honor.
Now, I know that you have written a play called Girl Please. And this play is to just shed a light on some of the abuse that women suffer behind closed doors. But when they're outside, they have that smile on and their hair down, the makeup on, the high heels, clicking in and out of church and work and to the store. And you would never believe that this type of abuse is going on, or this type of woman that you see would even accept it. So tell us about yourself and tell us about this play.
Well, my name is Rancine Harris. I've been living on Long Island, New York, pretty much all my life. And I just got I never thought that I would write a play. I never even thought that I would be in that type of arena. I've always been creative as far as like dancing and stuff like that. But then, God had other plans. And ministry is a broad thing. It's not just the spoken word. It's other avenues. It's not just preaching the word. It's words through dance. It's words through poems and different things like that. So that's how my play came about. The whole concept was God-driven. It was just given to me. And I never thought that I would be a writer. To be honest with you, I didn't even like English in school. But, listen, God will take your weakness and make it, make you do something powerful and for his purpose and for his glory.
That is true. You said ministry, so you're also a minister of the word.
I don't have the title, but I have the anointing. Put it that way. I can, that's something that's inside of me, to tell of the gospel. And the thing about it is, you don't have to have that paper to state you're a minister to spread the gospel. We're supposed to do that anyway.
Right. We are all ambassadors. We're all evangelists. We are all, given the charge to go out and tell the world about, the God that we love and we serve. I just wanted to bring that out because you said ministry, and a lot, everybody that listens to my show may not, just understand that. So I wanted to, break that down. Now, you said you didn't even like English when you were in school, so this wasn't something that you wanted to do, but all your talents came together for this play. Give me the motivation behind this play. There had to be something that was driving you, because you're saying it wasn't a natural talent just to sit down with pen and paper. So what was the motivation?
I was just sitting at work one day, and this phrase just came in my head, and I just could not shake it. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, what is this phrase? What is this phrase? I kept saying, girl, please, girl, please, girl, please. And because I'm a child of God, I'm just gonna have to put it out there. It was the Spirit of God that inspired me to do this. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, when it first came to me, I had put it aside. I didn't even touch it. I had wrote some things down that were coming to me, and I just put it aside. It wasn't until years later, maybe 5 or 6 years later when I actually decided, like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had somebody who told me, oh, you need to do something with that. You did. I was like, yeah, I was going to do something with it, all right. I was going to leave it right in that folder. But then when it just presented itself and it just happened so fast that I'm still like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, what in the world? So now, I'm writing more to it. During this time, I had a chance to do it at the beginning of last year, February, before everything went crazy. So I just had time just to see which angle and which way it's gonna go, because like I said, it's different scenarios of, different scenarios of relationships and different things that women go through, and and here I am. I'm like, wow, like I'm still like shocked, like that I'm even doing anything like this.
So tell us a little bit about these scenarios. You said you were at work and girl, please just wouldn't, let you go. So when you say in your spirit you felt that girl, please. When you felt girl, please, did you feel that it was going to be associated with domestic violence, or did you just hear the term and it just evolved from that term, girl, please?
It just basically it started like a conversation. The main character, which is her name is, the main character starts off saying, she's listening to her friend talk, and she's like, girl, please, if that's love, blah, 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 stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So it starts off, as it came together, it was like us women just having conversations, and the phrase, girl, please, everything based off of that. Like, oh, you're telling me this about your situation with your husband, and this one's telling me about this one about her fiance, and this one is telling her stuff about, her, what's going on behind closed doors with her. And I'm just like, girl, please, girl, please. So it's just a bunch of women sitting down, and everything just stemmed from girl, please. And it was just like different things, like different scenarios, like, oh, if he hits you, that's not love, blah, blah. And then there was another situation where this one's like, oh, he's taking forever to ask me to marry him. So it was just like, and then I'm the voice of reason. I'm like, girl, please, you know what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it all came into place. It's about, different women coming to me, telling me their situations. And I'm like, girl, please, you gotta be kidding me, stuff like that.
And girl, please is really a Black woman colloquialism. Like, no matter what happens, you either got somebody side-eyeing you or rolling their teeth on, girl, please, or girl, get out of here. I understand that concept, because there's a lot of times we talk to our girlfriends and you like, really? Come on, really? So what you're telling us is that this play, you wanted just to have, like, it seemed like a conversation of women speaking, so that women in your audience could feel really comfortable about seeing themselves in each and every one of these actresses. And even though it's acting, tell us a little bit about the people who are the actresses, because what I know of is that I believe each and every one of them have had personal experience.
Yeah, that's what's so funny about it too, because when I put my cast together, the majority of my cast is friends that I've known for a long time, and a lot of them know that a lot of those scenarios in those relationships is stuff that they witnessed me go through. So, and then some of them their own personal things. You understand what I'm saying? Some women have been in abusive relationships. Pretty much all women have been in a relationship where a man has cheated on them. That's just like, if you're in a crowd of women, I'm sure the majority of the women in there can relate to somebody being cheated on, and somebody can relate to somebody being hit. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it came into play. Like, I didn't even when I sat down and I was telling my friends about it, everybody just was like willing to just jump on board, because they see the concept and they saw the vision, and they saw themselves in it as well. So that's why it was so much easier for us to come together, like we've been practicing for 20 years. You understand what I'm saying? It was just like an easy flow. because everybody can relate to a piece of each of these women.
And that's what makes this play so extraordinary, because of the fact that the women that are in it, they experienced it. Their portrayal of their character is so profoundly real, and I had the pleasure of being in this play, so I know what the reaction of the audience was, and at intermission, it was like a buzz in the air, and everybody was talking because everybody could pick something out that touched them. And you had said, it really is a shame, but you get a group of women together and somebody can hold their hand up and say, yep, I've been cheated on, or yes, I've been beat, or yes, I've been left, or yes, I've been mentally abused, or yes, I've had something happen to me that shouldn't have happened. Now, mind you, we're not man bashing. We're not man bashing at all.
Yes.
But we're talking about the fact that, women go through a lot because we're emotional creatures, and we're nurturers by nature. And I believe, you put that out there in that play, that instead of pointing your finger saying, how stupid she was to go through that, because girl please does have that connotation too. Like, girl please, why you so stupid? Why you do that? That wasn't it. What you were trying to portray was, yes, unfortunately, we go through this. We're emotional, we're caregivers, and we fall for the okie doke. We're not saying that all men are bad men. We're not bashing them. So don't go there. Don't go there. But what we're saying is that those of us that have had to experience some of this, and we were able to get out of it, we want to give hope to women that are still in it. Because sometimes it feels like this is just my life and that's it. I won't see a happy relationship, or I don't know how to get out of it. Or maybe some think like this is the best that I can do. I'm lucky to even be in this. Think of that. Who thinks they're lucky to be abused, right? But it happens. It happens. When people come to you and say, how long did it take you to write this play? And you let them know that, I heard it in my head, I started writing, I put it down for 5 years. What are the reactions that people like, well, why'd you wait for 5 years?
The reason why, I guess being hard-headed, number one, was the reason why I waited for 5 years, because I was just like, because I didn't see myself as, when people ask me that question, it's because I didn't see myself as somebody writing a play. That was never nothing in my mind to do. So that's why it took so long. It wasn't like when I was in high school, I'm going to be a playwright when I get out. And, I started on that path. It wasn't even that at all. So that's why it took so long. But then putting it together, once I did realize that I was actually asked to perform this, it really didn't take me that. I mean, because I had the foundation already laid. You understand what I'm saying? At least for the first scene or whatever. So it was like, once I got the invite and once I told my friend about it and she brought it to somebody's attention, and she was like, yo, blah, 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 let's go. And I was like, what? And next thing you know, I'm typing this thing. I'm to this day, I'm still like shocked that it took me so long and then to recruit people to rehearse, and then with everybody's schedule, it was just like, but then to actually do it the first time and get the response that I did, after how I opened it up at the end and all that, we'll talk a little bit later about that later on, but I was shocked. I'm still like shocked, like, because that wasn't a path that I was even thinking about.
See, when you're open to God and you allow him to use your talents, you see what can happen. Not even thinking about writing a play, but was talented and allowed God to speak to her spirit and her heart, and all of that flowed out from her hand to a pen to a piece of paper. When we come back from break, I want you to discuss the reaction of the play that women have to it, after they see it. So we'll be right back right after this break. Don't go nowhere, people. Don't go nowhere. This gets good. This gets real good.
Ladies, are you looking for a Facebook page that will give you information, recipes, and a place where you can just feel comfortable to talk about anything? Well, you're going to find it in You Glow Girl VIP page. Loads of recipes, a lot of information, great talk, and more than anything else, no judgment zone. Want to make some new friends? Go on over to You Glow Girl VIP page on Facebook. Whole lot of people over there waiting to meet you. And they happen to be some really good sisters. I'll see you there because I'm a member of You Glow Girl VIP page. I'm on there almost every day. And you can always catch Determined Women of Destiny on that page also. When you get there, let them know Aunt Bond sent you.
Hey, good people, and I am back. I am Yvonne, the Motivated Man. If you just tuned in, this is Determined Women of Destiny. We are celebrating Black women writers, authors, poets. I have with me as a guest Rancine Harris. She has written a play called Girl Please. This play is hot as hot fish grease, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about it. We were discussing, how she even came to write the play, and now we're going to discuss the impact that this play has on the audiences and what she's going to do next with the play. So, Rancine, tell us about the audience reaction.
All right, so how I have it, because like I said, it's not just a play, it's a ministry, because I want women to know that what God's guidelines and what his foundation is for love and what it means. And once you know your worth. So what happens is after the play.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got to stop you. I got to stop you right there because what you said was so impactful. You said the guidelines of what real love is.
Yeah.
Not just phony stuff that we see. It's not the Gucci bag and it's not the gifts and the trinkets or where they can take you or all that other stuff. That real love is much different, and that is discussed in the play. I just had to stop because that was such a profound word right there. Yes. Real love, because everybody, even Mary J made that song, Real Love, I'm searching for that real love. That's what everybody's looking for, and women fall in the trap of thinking they got it and they don't, and trying to get out can be something else.
Ooh, yeah.
So go ahead. Tell us a little bit more about how the audience is impacted by this play.
All right, so when we finish the play, I open up, I introduce the cast members, and I let them tell them about their characters, and then there's the opportunity for ministry to step in. I ask women if there's anybody that's in the audience can relate to any of these women or in these situations right now, or if they need prayer. It's the opportunity to let them know that, people are concerned about what you're going through, and you don't have to be ashamed because we've all been through it. I try to create a comfortable atmosphere for women to speak of themselves, and I get very good responses because, like you said, people cover up stuff really well, really, really well. And I want people, when they see this play, that they can feel a touch to open up. And for them to know that, yeah, we understand you in this situation. Nobody is judgmental. Nobody is judging you. You understand what I'm saying? It's just an opportunity for women to speak. And from the times that I've done it, because I've only did it 3 times, but the good times, the good report that I get afterwards, like you really, touched a lot of avenues. You really, made me look at things. So that's the response that I want. I want people to respond with knowing that yes, there's people that care about your situation. You don't have to go, nobody's judging you. You're not stupid. You're just somebody that fell in love and you fell into something that it may be easy to say, how are you in it? But unless you're in it,
Mhm.
you understand where these women come from. I know personally what it is to be in a relationship with an abusive man, because I stayed in one for 5 years. And it's not as easy as people think, especially if there's children involved.
Right.
And I want women to know that you're not stupid for being in a relationship. You understand what I'm saying? But there is a rainbow at the end of all of it. You understand what I'm saying? There is a way of escape. There is an opportunity for you to get out.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And, you know, I remember speaking after the play and giving the information that sexual abuse is when you're cheated on repeatedly. You don't have to be hit. That's emotional abuse. And you're basically being sexually abused because of the fact that when you're intimate with someone and they're intimate with someone else, they can bring diseases back into that bed, and those diseases can be life-threatening. And I remember the look on one of this woman's face in the audience. She was like, I don't want to say dumbfounded, but it was like a light had just went off. You know, like she could understand now better, you know, what was going on. Like, I didn't get a chance to talk to her, but just her eyes, you know, that eye contact was like, oh, you understand, sis? And I'm like, yeah, I do. You know, there's many forms of abuse, and, you know, there's a whole lot to touch on. But I'm glad that this play is out there, because it was like the greatest sister circle. You know how women get together and they have their support groups, they call it sister circle. But this was a church full of women that just felt comfortable. And then when the brother spoke, what? Yes. I was blown away when he stood up and he told his truth about being that horrible husband and being out there and doing stuff, you know, and how he came back to ask not his wife, but the pastor, could he have another chance to interact with his wife? I was in tears. I was like, oh my God, this happens in real life, right? So just want to bring out there, I know this is not Domestic Violence Month and this is Black History Month, but relationships in our Black community aren't going well. They really aren't. And I know, like, I have way too many friends that are females that are single, more than married, you know, and we're just not communicating well. And we're not saying that's the men's fault. We're not saying it's the women's fault. We're just saying that this is a fault in our community and we need to come together and we need to fix it. We need to fix it. And one way you can't fix it is punching her in her face. You know, another way you can't fix it is by adding an extra person into the relationship. You know, another way you can't fix it is by trying to gain control, by keeping control over the money and giving her none. You know,
manipulation too.
Yeah. You know, these are all the factors, and that's what's brought out in the play. And I'm trying my best not to give out too much information because we want you to come see this play. We want you to experience this play. We want you to see how these women interact with each other, you know, and how the story unfolds of these friends. And then there's still some cliffhangers because there's a character named Lacey, and we have to find out what's going on with Lacey.
Yes. That is going to be.
For my listeners, just saying, oh, well, what's happening with Lacey? Well, you're just going to have to keep your eye out.
Stay tuned.
That's right. You're going to have to follow me and follow Rancine to see when the play is available so you can find out what's going on with Lacey, because I know that's going to be a hot topic. Woo. That's going to be real hot. And just a little snippet, Lacey is on the precipice of the greatest part of her life. right now. Like, all she has to do is just step into greatness. And I don't even know what's going on with Lacey, but I know that step is going to be hard for her to take.
Yes,
Real
yes,
hard
yes,
for her to take.
yeah, it's gonna be some real shocking moments in the coming, scenes. There's gonna be some real shocking, some real eye openers, and some real like, oh my goodness, now I get it. But yeah, you'll see. I don't want to give too much out, but you know, right now, with the world being the way it is right now, it just gives me time to just really um focus and have everything ready. So when things get better and we open up and I'm doing things I'm supposed to do legally,
Mhm.
so make sure that's all taken care of because you got to make sure that's done.
Right, right.
But other than that, and I'm just looking forward to it, just going to just branch off to other things. You know what I'm saying? But the foundation of the whole purpose of Girl Please is to help women. Period. Um, to help women, and that's what it's based off of. It started off with an idea that my mom's had. She's no longer here with the Lord now, but there was something that she wanted to do, and I sort of took her, her plan she wrote out, and I'm intertwining it with what I'm doing to keep her legacy, what she wanted to do for women. So, as you know, as things get better with the world, right now I'm just, what you're saying, nurturing my craft, and it is going to get interesting. It is going to get interesting. It's going to really get people to be delivered. It's going to
So
be a lot of deliver.
I know with
Be a lot.
COVID, we can't really go out, and your play is usually seen in churches. Have you thought about bringing it to the big screen of Zoom or, something like that?
It has crossed my mind. I have done it outside of the church. I haven't done it. I've done it for the town of Hempstead, for a program that they had. There were some women that were being honored, and I had an opportunity to do it there. And it was at that point where I received 3 citations from different officials of the town of Hempstead. So yeah, I've done it outside of the church. It's not just the church, because women are everywhere.
That's
As
true.
far as the Zoom thing is, I have thought about it, but like I said, right now I'm just nurturing it. I want to get it everything ready and prepared.
Okay.
So when the next step, I don't know what that date is gonna be, because I gotta get with my cast members, and what I'm saying, it's just been people have been really going through some stuff. So, but it's not going anywhere. It's gonna, when it does come back, it's gonna come back like like you said, Lacey's character, and your character. Matter of fact, your character Lisa is the woman that's being abused. So you took that. I commend you. You took it and you owned it, and you did it. You understand what I'm saying? And one of my cast members, she's a social worker, so she has like pamphlets for women that are going through domestic violence, whether physical, emotional, or sexual. So it's gonna be everything that God wanted it to be, and I'm gonna make sure that, because I'm gonna take care of it, I'm gonna nurture it and cradle it and do what I need to do. And my cast members, including yourself, it's not just me. We're a team. You understand? It's not my play. It's all of our play. But it's God's place first. It's His play because He gave it to me. But I am thinking about. I'm gonna think about the whole Zoom thing. Maybe I'll look further into that. But you will see Girl Please in 2021.
Okay. Now, what have you learned through this whole process, from the inception of the thought in your mind, your heart, writing it down, performing it. What were some of the things that you learned along the way about you?
I learned about me that because I am an overcomer. I learned that about me, that I'm an overcomer, and my self-worth. That's what I learned about me, my self-worth, and what I will not put up with and what I will put up with. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's it. It made me look in the mirror and say, listen, no, it ain't happening again like it happened before. You understand what I'm saying? I'm more about discernment. I'm open. I can see. I can see what it looked like because I've seen it before. So don't even, you know what I'm saying? You can't pull it over my eyes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it just made me realize that I'm an overcomer, and that there's people out there, there's women out there that are my assignment, that they need to see this play. They need to meet me. They need to, I need to come across their path. They need to come across mine. Just like when I was going through my situation, I came across somebody's path. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's like, it's like paying it forward, That's basically what it is.
We don't go through anything in this life without it being designated to help someone else. And the sooner we find that out, the more people can be helped and can get out of their emotional and spiritual sicknesses. Women walk around here like, oh, why me? And it's not Tasha Cobbs, it's another Tasha Page, and she sings a song that says, why not me? I'm the perfect woman to go through this storm, So if we realize that instead of, we're so good of concealing our stuff, if we start talking more and just interacting with each other, then we can all come together and live healthier lives. But you get sick when you hold it in, It's like putting a Band-Aid over infected area and not putting any type of antiseptic. The only thing you're going to do is watch it become more infected. Even though you covering it up, the infection is spreading, and infection stinks, and it's ugly. It's ugly to the eye. So what you think you're covering up, you're really not. You're really not, because it comes out in all different ways. It comes out in a bad attitude. It comes out in your interaction with people. It comes out, the way you handle your money. It just comes out many, many different ways. Before we get out of here, please give our listeners that are writers that may want to write a play, give them some motivation, that to give them that push, that oomph, that next step that they need.
Well, first of all, you have to believe in yourself and know that you can do anything that you set your mind to do. And don't give up. Don't worry about what people say. Oh, what you mean you doing this? Oh, you can't do that. Tune all that out. If you want to be a writer, if you want to do whatever you want to do in life, don't let nothing or nobody hold you back. Believe in yourself. Set out a plan. You know what I'm saying? Write. That's all I can tell you. When things come to you, when you feel motivated, just write. Even if you only write 10 minutes a day, you understand? Just be diligent in it. Be consistent in it. And don't worry about what nobody has to say. Sometimes it's not good to let everybody know what you're doing anyway. Sometimes it's best to move in silence. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you're not around the right people to motivate you and encourage you, you'll put that thing aside. Like, you know what? Maybe they're right. This is not the time. I'm too old. Or I don't have what it takes. Or I don't have the skills. Or blah, blah, blah. All that negativity. If you feel like you want to do something, the only person that's going to stop you from doing it is you.
Absolutely.
It's going to be you. Never mind what anybody's got to say. So what if you're 60, 70? Who cares how old you are? You ain't go to college or whatever. You got kids or whatever the case may be. You just set time aside for that. If that's what you want to do, sacrifice a little bit of time, put in it, and just go forth with it. That's it. Never mind what anybody, even if nobody in your circle supports you, you support yourself and just do it. There's nothing that you can't do. There's nothing that you cannot do. We are our own worst enemy because we let people stop our vision, stop our dreams with their negativity. Because a lot of people, they don't want to do nothing themselves. You know what I'm saying? But everybody has a story to tell.
Yes, they do.
Everybody has a story to tell, and and like you said, it's all about what you want to do for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, this play wasn't only it's not just therapeutic for people that come to see it. It's therapeutic for just the writer, for the person that's doing it. You know what I'm saying? And it's encouraging to yourself when you write something down and you look at it and you read it and you're like, wow, I did this. You know what I'm saying? And just go forward with it. If you want to write. Just write. Find something that you're passionate about and just go with it.
Well, thank you, Rancine, so much for those encouraging words and for joining me on Determined Women of Destiny. Once again, we salute our Black female writers that paved the way for Rancine and the other Black women that are writers and authors and playwrights and poets and the rest. I'm Yvonne, the Motivated Man. You've been listening to Determined Woman of Destiny. The show is sponsored by Slinger Haskell Funeral Home. My creative director is Rudy J. Breedy. Until next time, good people, keep doing what you're doing until what you're doing gets done. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings.